Om. In this video, I'm going to share the secret of enemy signs, referring to Chinese and Vietnamese astrology, which we can use numerology to crack the code. There's wisdom in numerology that complements and completes this and shares you the hack. Let's talk about it. A quick backstory on how this discussion came about, because it's relevant. It furthers the point. So it was the other day, my friend and I, we meet once a month, sometimes more than once. He's also a numerologist, astrologist, studies life. We have discussions, compare notes, and like this, we have these cool discussions with each other. And we were talking about, we're in Puerto Vallarta, which is in Mexico. Mexico's a snake country. Puerto Vallarta is a pig city. Pig and snake are enemy signs. But Puerto Vallarta is a very special place. Very popular. People just love coming here over and over and over again. It's very popular. It's only second to Cancun for most visited destinations in Mexico. There's a tremendous healing energy here as well. There's a spiritualness to this place. A lot of healing center type of things are popping up here. Vegan, healthy. This is a big theme that's popping up, and as time unfolds, I predict this is going to continue to be the case. Now, interesting thing about Vallarta was, my friend pointed out, is if you look at the sidewalks in Vallarta, every sidewalk in the city has a snake slithering in the center. So if you imagine the square tiles, the sidewalks, weaving through all of them, they've connected this weaving like wave. It's a snake. And there's on the boardwalk, there's actual snake stone art engraved. There's a lot of snake symbolism and energy here. We think that's bad, because snake and pig, they don't get along. But what it does create is a spiritual vibe, a healing, beautiful energy here, which I'm going to start breaking down now. By the way, I will say that my friend was born on a certain date, the one who realized this, that I'm going to reveal later in this video, because it shows you why he was the one to reveal it to me, because he has this wisdom built into his numerology. Okay, let's get into it. Chinese astrology, will start there, or Vietnamese. I prefer Vietnamese, the cat over the rabbit. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. What are we looking at in enemy signs? Enemy sign just means an opposing force. It's the yang to your yin, or the yin to your yang, however you want to look at it. Just like men and women, masculinity and femininity. Two completely different, may as well be two different species. Women and men operate totally differently. Yet, if you look at the yin-yang symbol, they create wholeness. They're two puzzle pieces that come together to create wholeness, the circle. Perfectly polar opposite, yet complementary forces that creates wholeness together. If the man ignores the woman, the feminine side of the feminine and femininity, or ignores the masculinity, there's going to be a separation. There's going to be a separation from themselves. There's going to be an ignorance. In other words, by understanding the opposite, you're going to be able to see your reflection, your shadow, your mirror. That will help you to grow, evolve, transcend, and understand. Maybe getting some hints about the numerology here. I'm going to keep talking about this, and we're getting into numerology. So, why I'm saying this, to bring this all back, I have an enemy year coming up soon. And most people are very afraid of the enemy year. And then my friend and I were talking about this, and he didn't know my enemy year is coming. He knew, but he wasn't intending to speak this. But it was something that's been rolling about. How am I going to use this year? You know, I've been thinking about it. And then he just kind of, the synchronicity just manifested, and it just, the light bulb went off. The way that you use your enemy signs, your enemy energy, is for wisdom. Let me explain with numerology. Let's get into numerology now. In numerology, you may be familiar with the video I've made where I've coined this phrase of snap analysis. This is using Chaldean numerology. So Chaldean numerology puts a lot of weight on compound numbers, where Pythagorean reduces everything except for master numbers. But in Chaldean, let's take the number 5. A 23, 2 plus 3 / 5 is different than a 41 / 5, is different than a 50, 50 / 5. Like this, they're all 5s, they all have that in common, but they operate differently because of these compound numbers. So if you look at the compound numbers, there's the digit sum of them. The whole phrase, the snap analysis, means if I just look at a digit sum, I can tell you about the relationship of those numbers. What's the requirement? Because the digit sum is 3 main things. It's the conscious awareness of the number. It's who it thinks it is. It's the balanced or imbalanced effect, depending on if the numbers are in balance or imbalance. And third, and most importantly here, it's showing you the balance code, the energy required for those two numbers to be brought into harmony and unlock the number. So when you see digit sum of 5s, that's a number showing that it needs to be freedom, there needs to be adaptability, flexibility, dynamicism. If you see a number with the digit sum of, let's say, 6, there needs to be responsibility, coherence, harmony, family, community. If you see a number with 8, it needs to be discipline, perseverance, long-term thinking, long-term strategy, seeing all the angles first. Okay, but this is where the magic is, number 7. If you see a digit sum 7, you may have seen a past video about this, it automatically tells you these are two numbers that are naturally don't get along. Because the balance code is you have to transcend. You have to pull back from being both. You have to go to unity. You have to transcend. You have to become observing. You have to look at them outside the box. Because 7 is a number of the mystic. It's a matter of transcendence. It's also a number of understanding. Standing underneath both. Understanding is the truth. So 7 is also a number of truth. So if you understand this, let's give some examples. 1 and 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. What's 6? Unity, community, cohesion, bringing people together to create harmony. What's 1? Individuals, individualistic. 6 doesn't want 1 because 1 is the polar opposite of what 6 is trying to do. 6 is trying to bring people together. Individuals doesn't work in that setting. Similarly, from the 1's perspective, the 1 needs to be a pioneer. It can't be tied down. It can't be expected to lose its individuality because that's the magic. The 1 uses its individuality to create. It's a pioneer. That's the whole function of the 1 in the sequence, in the creation. So these two energies don't mix. In order for them to mix, they need to transcend both of them. If the 1 remains a 1, it's going to have problems. If the 6 remains a 6, going to have problems. They need to go beyond both and get the wisdom, the understanding. But if they don't, it can create separation. Remember I said before in the yin and yang, if the masculine ignores the woman, there's going to be a separation. There's not going to be a wholeness, which is the yin and yang symbol. 7, therefore, is the number of separation, also loss, depending on what the numbers are. In the case of 16, loss of loved one. Loss, 7, of loved, 6, 1, the outer digit 1. 61, loss of family, loss of community. Like this. Okay, let's look at another example. 2 and 5. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 2 wants to be peaceful, quiet. It likes stillness. It likes gentleness. It doesn't like a lot of movement. It doesn't like a lot of erraticism, change, stimulation. It overstimulates the 2s and it makes them feel like burned out. The 5 is intellectual. They're superficial because they're meant to pick up at any given moment and change. They're the cross-pollinators. They're meant to bounce around and exchange information to create alchemy. But if they get emotional too, then they become attached and they can't do their job. Therefore, they need to transcend. 7. 2 can learn a lot from 5. 5 can learn a lot from 2. 2 can, instead of being so emotional, can embrace intellectual to complete itself. You see how this works? Similarly, 5 as an intellectual can embrace emotion to complete itself. 1 and 6. 6 can be too much focused on community, too much selflessness, martyrdom, sacrificing of itself for the sake of other people, taking on responsibility for others while it loses itself. It can learn the wisdom of the 1. Similarly, 1 can learn the wisdom of 6. Responsibility, selflessness. They complete each other. 3 and 4 as well. 3 is raw expression. 4 needs organization. They don't mix. 3 is raw, abstract. 4 is very structured. But if you apply the 7, 3 can learn from the 4, 4 can learn from the 3. All that to say, how to use your enemy years. Learn about the opposite energy. Learn about your sign and the opposite sign to look in the mirror and learn about your shadow and how to adopt that energy. Because here's the magic. In 3 and 4, 1 and 6, 2 and 5, this balance code, this conscious awareness is also the free will. The digit sum and the conscious awareness is the free will. It's the attitude perspective, the free will component. What it means is, let's use an example. California, a dog state. Last year was the year of the dragon. The year of the dragon didn't end until, I believe, January 29th of this year. Prior to that ending, California had those, you may remember, those apocalyptic fires. Massive fires. This because dog and dragon are enemies. California is a dog state. And it got lit on fire by the dragon. Literally, fire. Why? Because the space, wherever it was on fire, was resistant to that energy. Something needed to be purged. So what it means is, if you take 1 and 6 together, and you don't apply free will to manually balance them out, you're going to create what? Loss of loved one. That's why everyone's scared of 16. Oh, it's a terrible number. It's fear. It's only fear because there's when the resistance is there. And remember the guy I was telling you about who shared this, we had discussion with? He's born the 16th. He has the wisdom of how to unite opposites built into his energy. That's why he's the one who shared it with me about this pig in California, or sorry, the pig in Puerto Vallarta and all this. And that's why I started connecting dots. Oh my God, numerology. It all made perfect sense. You have to manually unite them. So in your enemy year, what it means is, if you resist the energy, there's going to be more turbulence. There's going to be more of the bad things that you don't want to happen. If you embrace the other energy, it's going to work out for you. You're going to be able to not just work out, it's going to give you understanding, a transcendence of your ego, transcendence of your limitations. It's going to bring you into, it has the potential to bring you into wholeness, the yin and yang. That's how you can use your enemy energy. Enemy is such a loaded word. It sounds like someone's trying to kill you. It's not that. It just means it's the polar opposite. It's your mirror. It's your yin or yang. Okay. Now, with that said, if you're asking me for more mundane applications of your sign, like where can I, if you ask me like where can I, because for picking where you're going to live, your country, your state, it's the Chinese zodiac of Vietnamese, very important because it corresponds to the year in your birthday. Year is space energy. There's space, time, and observer. Shiva Shakti effect. So the space is very, very much influenced or impacted by the Chinese zodiac because that's what it corresponds to. That's a whole side conversation. Just take it for granted for a moment if you don't understand. If you want to go somewhere that you want to have everything flow naturally for you, then you're going to want to use your own sign or a friend sign. Every sign has a triad of friends, and then there's a secret friend. So like, for example, the ox or the rat. The rat's friends with monkey and dragon, and its secret friend is the ox. To find a secret friend, you go one friend in front of it, but there can't. So ox's secret friend isn't going to be tiger because it's already paired with the rat. So then the ox's secret friend will go back one to the rat. The rat initiates because the rat's the first sign. So rat and ox, boom. Tiger and 4. Which the fourth one I forget off the top of my head. Brain fart. But you get the idea. So 1 and 2 are secret friends. 3 and 4 are secret friends. 5 and 6, and like this. You can find your secret friend that way. You want to be in that energy because that's where your energy is going to flow effortlessly. There's not going to be any resistance. There's not going to be any of the spiritual work. You're not going to have to do any of that manual free will to transcend. It's just going to be more natural for you. It just depends on application of what you're trying to do. If you want to understand yourself more and you're open to that, play with your enemy energy. Let's just call it your opposite energy, your complementary energy. Maybe as a more gentle way of putting it, that brings it more into, makes it less scary. Let's just say that. Okay, this video is getting a little bit long, so I'm going to end it here for now. But we can talk about this more in the future. If you like this video, give it a like so other people can find it. Any comments, questions, or feedback, let's have a discussion in the comments below. If you'd like to get a reading or analysis with me using numerologies, particularly I'm doing essence readings right now, finding your purpose, your codes, how you're supposed to think, feel, what's going to align you with the most fulfillment, what's your purpose in this life, and other secrets about your numerology chart. Check out the description. You're probably going to find a website link, and there I have contact details on the webpage. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. As always, wishing you the best. Until next time, God bless.